Hello, beloved. I want to thank you so much for coming back to my channel today. If today is your first time, I do want to welcome you. On today's episode, we will be taking it step by step as usual. I hope that you will enjoy the making today. May God richly bless you, and remember that life without Jesus Christ is lifeless. Until next time, please keep watching. Hello everyone, I hope that everybody is blessed today. On today's episode, we'll be making my delicious fried fish pies recipe. This pies reminds me of when I was a little girl. Every time we came back from school, my grandmother would make them and then we would just binge on them because they were super delicious. And today I wanted to share my grandmother's recipe with all of you. And I hope you will enjoy the making. So without further much ado, let me go ahead and show you the ingredients we'll be needing. So here I have my sardine. I'm using this sardine that you can find in most African stores. Also, if you have a favorite sardine, you can use that, okay? But this is the sardine I'm using. Here I have my shredded carrots. Here I have my green onions. I have shredded very beautifully. The only adjustment I'm making from my grandmother is that I'm adding jalapenos, okay? So here I have one diced jalapenos. Here I have my fresh tomatoes, all diced nicely. And I'm using 2 tablespoons of salted butter. I'm going to use that to saute all these fresh ingredients. Over here I have my garlic and my black pepper powder, and also I have my chicken bouillon season, about half a teaspoon of that. Here I have about 4 tablespoons of my all-purpose flour, and in the all-purpose flour I'm going to mix it with a pinch of salt. Here I would say half a teaspoon of nutmeg, okay, and my salt, like I stated before. The salt should be to your taste, but over here I have about a quarter teaspoon of that. So without further much ado, let's go ahead and get started. Please keep watching as we do that. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that we prepare our dough flour for the meat pie. Okay, so I'm going to start off by adding my pinch of nutmeg. I'm also going to add my half a teaspoon of salt. And in addition to that, I'm going to add my 5 tablespoons of butter. Then I'm going to mix it all in, okay? Make sure that it's nicely combined with your flour. So if you are wondering the difference between this type of pie and your regular meat pie, you want to make sure that you don't add too much grease or fat to your dough, okay? The more grease you add to the dough, the richer it becomes. So if you are making a meat pie and you are baking the pie, then it's okay, because you want your crust to be rich, or the dough of the pie to be rich. But when you are frying the pies, you don't want your crust to be too rich. You want to have, you want to give it some flavor by adding butter, but not too much of it. So the crust making is that simple. And also another thing is that when you are making meat pie, I tend to add ice water. But in this case, I'm just adding regular water. Also, the crust is going to be very moist, as opposed to making a regular meat pie. When you are making a meat pie, you want the crust to be rich. But this one, we will make it a bit moist. And I'll show you the consistency so you have an idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go for this consistency for the flour. Okay, it's very, very sticky and it's very wet. Okay, so that when you are rolling it, it will become stretchy, you know, very stretchy. So as you can see, it's quite wet. Look at that. It's very, very wet. And we are going to roll it in a few minutes after we finish making our filling. So I'm going to go for this consistency. Okay, just like that. It has to be very sticky and very wet. If you want to know how I make my meat pie, I have a video for it, so please check it out so you can tell the difference of what I'm talking about. Please keep watching. So the next thing I'll be adding now will be the shredded cabbage. Okay, we don't want to overcook our vegetables, we just want them to saute. So now we are going to give it a stir. Make sure it all combined nicely. I'll leave it to saute for about 2 minutes and then I'll come back and add the additional. So now I'll be adding my fish. And you're just going to stir it in. So this is the brine of fish that I'm using. This brine can be found in most African stores. You can also order it on eBay or Amazon. I believe they should have it. Just want to break your fish into pieces. So you want to mix your fish very thoroughly, okay? Just break it into little pieces and mix it very well. So the last ingredient I'm going to put in this mixture will be my diced tomatoes. As you can see, the tomatoes are very delicate, so you don't want to overcook it. You just want it to mix with the rest of the ingredients. Now you are going to taste it and make sure that it tastes very well. And then I'm going to add my spices, my chicken bouillon seasoning and my garlic and black pepper powder. Then just mix it all in. So that's it. That's how simple the pie's fillings are to make. So I'm just going to shut off my oven and then we can start rolling the pies. Please keep watching as I do that. So what we did was to leave our filling to cool, and right now it's very cold. So we are just going to roll our dough and then start filling it. So when it comes to rolling the dough, I just dust a little bit of flour on my chopping board. Okay, and I just make sure that my flour has come together nicely. As you can see, the flour is very stretchy. It's not like your typical meat pie flour where it's very, very rich and very flaky. No, this one is wet and stretchy. Okay, so we are just going to roll it up. Just dust a little bit of flour on it if you need to, and just continue rolling it out. You don't want it to be bulky, you want it to be thin. Okay, try your best to make it thin. So this is thin enough for me. Okay, and you can cut it to whatever shape of your choice. And I'm not gonna make them so large. I'm gonna make them as thin as possible, so that they can fry nicely and give you that crispy, that crispy taste. So let's go ahead and fill out this one. So I'm just going to put the filling in the middle, just like that. Just go ahead and use your milk, or you can use egg and milk, but today I'm just using regular milk, okay? Make sure the ends are saturated with the milk, and then fold it together and just press the ends to make sure that it's completely sealed. So once it's completely sealed, you can go in and start using your fork to press it down to further seal it completely, okay? Just like that. And then you can just poke little holes in the middle like that. You don't have to rub any milk on it, but if you want, you can rub just a little milk on it because you're going to fry them anyway. So like I was saying, when you finish pressing the pie, you can either rub milk on top of it or you can leave it as it is. Okay, so now I'm just going to fry it. It looks like my oil is ready. So let's go ahead and put them inside the oil. Just leave them to fry. So it looks like they are ready. I'm just going to turn them over and see how they are doing. It looks like it has browned all the way around. So I'm going to scoop them out of the oil and let them rest here on the paper towel so that the excess oil can drain out of it. I'll go ahead and finish the remaining batch and then I'll come and show you the final result. Please keep watching as I do that. Hello beloved, so our fried fish pies are ready and I want to thank you so much for staying tuned and learning how to make this wonderful recipe. If today is your first time, I do want to welcome you. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to it. I really appreciate your support and love. Also, make sure you give this recipe a try and do not forget to share my videos with friends and loved ones. Thank you so much. May God richly bless you. Until next time, bye-bye for now. Fried fish pies. Thank you.